Chosen one, what if I told you that your biggest breakthrough is just one step away? But if you don't act now, you could miss everything. I'm talking about that final push, the moment where everything you've been waiting for finally lines up. For so long, you've known what you need to do, but fear, doubt, and procrastination have kept you in place. You've felt the weight of hesitation, holding you back. But what if I told you that this is the moment to set all that aside? No more waiting, no more making excuses. This is your time to act, because the window of opportunity doesn't stay open forever. In this video, I'm going to show you why now is the moment to move forward, how to recognize the signs that it's time, and what happens when you finally take that step. If you resonate with this message, like the video and comment 77 below. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video, and click the super thanks button to support. Stay tuned, because by the end of this, you'll understand exactly what you need to do and why waiting is no longer an option. Why chosen ones delay their calling. It's a feeling that many chosen ones know all too well. You sense a pull inside you, a quiet, persistent voice urging you towards something greater. Maybe it started as a subtle nudge, a fleeting thought that you were meant for more. Over time, that feeling grew stronger, more insistent, until it became impossible to ignore. And yet, despite knowing that you're being called to something higher, you can't seem to move forward. You feel stuck in place, torn between the life you know and the life you sense is waiting for you. Fear whispers that you're not ready, that you'll fail, that you're not strong enough. Doubt creeps in, planting seeds of uncertainty. And so you wait. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and still you hold back, unsure the time is right. You're not alone in feeling this way. Many chosen ones face the same struggle, caught between a desire for change and a fear of what lies ahead. For some, it's the fear of failure that holds them back. What if you take that step and everything falls apart? The thought of failing, of disappointing others or yourself, can be paralyzing. For others, it's the fear of success. Stepping into your purpose means stepping into the unknown, and even positive change can feel overwhelming. Then there's the fear of judgment. What will people think if you follow your calling? Will they support you, or will they question your choices? On top of these fears, the path itself can feel daunting. The idea of making a leap into something new, something uncertain, can make even the strongest heart hesitate. You might tell yourself that you need more time, more knowledge, more resources. You might convince yourself that it's safer to stay where you are. But deep down, you know that every day you wait, you're delaying not only your progress, but also fulfillment of a greater purpose. It's important to understand that this hesitation is not a sign of weakness. It's a natural part of the journey. Even the greatest leaders and spiritual figures have felt moments of doubt. Take Moses, for example. When God called him to lead the Israelites out of Egypt, Moses doubted his abilities. He protested, saying he wasn't eloquent enough, that he wasn't the right person for the job. He hesitated, even when the signs were clear. But what Moses didn't realize at first, and what many chosen ones overlook, is that the calling itself is proof of readiness. The fact that you feel drawn to a greater purpose means that you already have what it takes. The path may not be easy and the challenges may be great, but the call would not come if you weren't meant to answer it. This is where faith comes in. Trusting in the process, in the divine timing, and the strength you've already been given is what allows you to move forward despite the doubt. As you begin to confront the reasons behind your hesitation, you may notice subtle shifts within yourself. The voice of fear starts to quiet, and a sense of urgency begins to take its place. You might find yourself thinking about your calling more frequently, feeling a stronger pull toward action. Certain moments stand out, an encouraging conversation, a sign that seems too perfect to be coincidence, or a sudden burst of clarity. These are not random events. They're signals that the time is drawing near. You may also find that the excuses you once clung to no longer hold as much weight. The fears that once kept you rooted in place start to feel smaller, more manageable. This is a sign that your spirit is preparing for the next step. Even if your mind hasn't fully caught up yet, it's the beginning of transformation, and it's a powerful reminder that you're moving closer to your purpose. Behind the scenes, forces greater than you can see are working to clear your path. The delays and challenges you faced are not roadblocks, they're preparations. Each obstacle you've overcome, each lesson you've learned, has been building the foundation for what's to come. This is divine intervention at work. Synchronicities begin to appear, aligning circumstances in ways you couldn't have planned. People enter your life at just the right moment, offering guidance or support. Opportunities arise that feel like they were made for you. These are not coincidences. They're signs that your calling is real and that the time to act is now. By stepping into alignment with your purpose, you unlock a flow of energy and direction that carries you forward. The more you trust in this process, the clearer it becomes that your hesitation was never a failure, but a necessary part of the journey. As this transformation unfolds, you'll begin to see yourself in a new light. The doubts that once seemed so loud start to fade. You realize that the fear of the unknown isn't as powerful as you once thought. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, you start to see what could go right. You understand that the life you've been holding back from is the life you're truly meant to live. This self-realization is a turning point. It's the moment you stop resisting and start embracing your purpose. You see that the waiting was never about the right time. It was about becoming the person who's ready to say yes. By letting go of fear and stepping fully into your calling, you move from hesitation to empowerment. It's a shift that changes everything, allowing you to finally claim the path that was always meant for you. Now that you see the truth of your journey, it's time to take the next step. The hesitation that once held you back no longer has power over you. You felt the call, you've seen the signs, and now it's time to act. Release the doubts, the fears, and the excuses. Trust in the process and trust in yourself. You have everything you need to move forward. Remember that every step you take toward your purpose strengthens your connection to it. Whether it's starting a new project, reaching out to someone for guidance, or simply deciding to commit fully to your path, each action brings you closer to fulfillment you've been waiting for. You are ready. You've always been ready. It's time to take that step and step into the life you were destined to live. If you've ever felt that pull but hesitated out of fear, comment fear below. Let this be the moment you acknowledge it and choose to move beyond it. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. The fact that you're here now means you're ready to take that next step. Stay true to your calling. Trust in your purpose and know that the time to act is now. Your breakthrough is just one step away. The urgent signs that it's time to act. Life has a way of sending us signs when it's time to make a move. You probably felt it before, a subtle but persistent shift in the air, like the universe is holding up a signpost that only you can see. These moments can feel both thrilling and unsettling. Maybe you're going about your daily routine when, out of nowhere, an opportunity presents itself that feels too perfect to be chance. Or perhaps a thought keeps surfacing, no matter how much you try to push it away. It's as if something is gently but firmly saying, "Now is the time." You start noticing patterns you can't ignore, conversations that spark new ideas, unexpected doors that seem to open just for you. You may feel a sudden sense of clarity, as if the fog you've been wandering through is lifted. These moments are not random. They are signals that the time to act is now. They carry a quiet urgency, a sense that if you wait too long, you'll miss the opportunity to step into something greater. Sometimes, these signs can be as simple as an inner nudge, a feeling that won't go away. Other times, they come from external circumstances that seem to align in a way that feels almost orchestrated. You might find yourself hearing the same message from multiple sources, as if the universe is repeating itself to make sure you're paying attention. Perhaps you see numbers or symbols that feel significant, or you keep stumbling across a certain phrase that resonates deeply. It could be a sudden phone call, an email, or a chance meeting that plants a seed in your mind. These signs might not be loud or dramatic, but they carry a weight that's impossible to ignore once you recognize them. They pull at your heart, reminding you that there's something more out there waiting for you. These quiet signals often feel like whispers of destiny, encouraging you to take that step you've been avoiding. When you look at the story of Esther in the Bible, you see a clear example of this kind of divine timing. Esther didn't seek out her position as queen, and she certainly didn't plan to become a savior for her people. Yet, when the moment came, it was clear that she had been placed there for a reason. She could have hesitated, convincing herself that someone else would act or that it wasn't her responsibility. But the signs were too clear to ignore. Esther realized that her time had come, and she stepped into her role, despite the risks. Similarly, when these signs appear in your own life, they're an invitation to step forward. They're a reminder that you've been prepared for this moment. Even if you don't feel fully ready, the decision to act may not be easy, but the signs are there to assure you that you're not alone in this journey. You'll start to notice that the same idea keeps coming back, no matter how many times you try to push it away. It might be a vision you can't shake, a goal that keeps appearing in your mind's eye, or a dream that feels more real each time you think about it. As time goes on, these recurring thoughts don't fade. They grow stronger. They start to show up in unexpected places, like a recurring theme in conversations or a feeling that you just can't escape. You'll find yourself drawn to certain topics, people, or opportunities that all seem to point in the same direction. Even your emotions might shift. You might feel more excited or more restless, as if your soul knows something big is coming. These are not coincidences. They are signals that the time is now, and the longer you wait, the more insistent these signs become. As the signs become more frequent, you may find that obstacles you once feared seem smaller. Doors that were once closed now swing open. You'll notice that people who doubted you suddenly show support, or that resources you didn't have before are now within reach. These changes might feel subtle at first, but they carry a sense of momentum. It's as if the universe is clearing the path ahead of you, removing barriers that once seemed insurmountable. Each step you take feels less uncertain, because the signs have given you a sense of direction. You realize that these opportunities didn't come by chance. They were placed in your path for a reason. As these signals continue to appear, they reinforce the feeling that you're on the right track, and that it's time to move forward with confidence. At some point, you'll experience a shift in your own perception. What once seemed intimidating now feels attainable. The doubts that held you back lose their grip, and you begin to see yourself in a new light. You understand that the signs you've been noticing aren't just external. They're reflecting a change happening inside you. You're no longer waiting for permission or waiting for everything to be perfect. Instead, you realize that the signs have been guiding you towards something you've been ready for all along. This realization is a turning point. It's the moment when you stop wondering whether you should act and start knowing that you must. It's the moment when you fully step into belief that you are capable, worthy, and prepared to move forward. As these signs continue to guide you, you'll feel a growing sense of empowerment. You'll recognize that the timing is right, and that the universe has been orchestrating these signals to show you the way. Your confidence will grow as you embrace these signs and trust that they're leading you towards something greater. This is your moment. It's time to take that step you've been hesitating over, knowing that you're supported by forces beyond what you can see. Comment ready below if you've noticed these signs in your life. This is the push you've been waiting for, the confirmation that now is the time to act. Trust in the process, trust in the signs, and take that step forward. What happens when you take action? When you finally move beyond hesitation and take that bold step forward, the change can feel almost immediate. It's as if a weight you didn't even realize you were carrying suddenly lifts. Your perspective shifts, and instead of seeing only obstacles, you start to notice possibilities. The fears that once held you back begin to fade, replaced by a growing sense of purpose and direction. You might feel a rush of energy, a spark that ignites something deep inside you. This isn't just a shift in circumstances. It's a shift in you. You start to see the path ahead more clearly, and each step feels more solid than the last. Taking action doesn't just create movement. It creates momentum, and with that momentum comes a renewed sense of clarity and focus. When you act, the world around you begins to respond in kind. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach suddenly appear within grasp. People you never expected to meet cross your path, offering support, guidance, or connections. The universe seems to align in ways you couldn't have predicted, and you realize that the very act of stepping forward has unlocked doors you didn't even know were there. This doesn't mean everything becomes effortless, but it does mean that the road ahead becomes more navigable. Challenges still arise, but they no longer feel insurmountable. Instead, you face them with a newfound confidence, knowing that every action you take brings you closer to your goals. This is the power of moving past hesitation and embracing the opportunities that have been waiting for you all along. Think of David before he faced Goliath. From the outside, he didn't look like a champion. He was young, smaller in stature, and not trained in traditional ways of battle. Yet, he didn't let that stop him. Instead, he stepped forward with confidence in his purpose and in the preparation he had gained from his time as a shepherd. He acted when others hesitated, and that action made all the difference. David's victory wasn't just a result of his skill. It was a result of his willingness to move forward despite the odds. Similarly, when you choose to act, you tap into a strength you might not have realized you had. It's not about waiting for everything to be perfect. It's about trusting that you have what you need to take the first step, and that each subsequent step will reveal more strength, more resources, and more possibilities. As you continue to take action, you'll notice how your confidence begins to grow. Each small success reinforces your belief in yourself, and each step forward helps dissolve the doubts that once held you back. It's like climbing a staircase. With each step you take, you can see a little farther, and the challenges that once seemed so daunting appear smaller in comparison. This growing confidence isn't just about feeling good. It's about recognizing your own capability. You begin to understand that you have the power to influence your circumstances, to create change, and to shape your path. The act of moving forward, even in the face of uncertainty, proves to yourself that you are stronger, more resilient, and more capable than you once believed. The changes you experience aren't just internal. As you act, the world around you begins to mirror your efforts. Opportunities start to flow more freely, as if the energy you put out is drawing them toward you. You might find that the connections you need appear at just the right time, or that resources become available when you need them most. This isn't about luck. It's about alignment. When you move forward with intention, the universe has a way of meeting you halfway. The energy you put into taking action creates a ripple effect, bringing new possibilities, new relationships, and new paths into your life. The more you act, the more you align with the opportunities that are meant for you. When you take action, you also start to notice a shift in how you view challenges. Problems that once felt overwhelming no longer carry the same weight. Instead of seeing roadblocks, you begin to see opportunities for growth. Each challenge becomes a chance to learn, adapt, and become even stronger. This mindset shift allows you to approach obstacles with curiosity and determination rather than fear. By taking action, you demonstrate to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. This doesn't mean that challenges disappear. Rather, it means that you face them with a newfound sense of empowerment. Each challenge becomes another step on the path to growth, and each step reinforces your belief in your own ability to overcome and thrive. Ultimately, taking action creates a cycle of positive momentum. The more you do, the more you grow. The more you grow, the more opportunities come your way. And the more opportunities you embrace, the more your life begins to reflect the purpose you've been moving toward. This cycle builds upon itself, making each step feel more natural, more aligned, and more rewarding. Over time, you'll look back and realize how far you've come, how the simple decision to take that first step set everything else in motion. If you felt that shift, that surge of energy that comes from finally acting, comment "shift" below. By acknowledging it, you're reinforcing your own progress and reminding yourself that the best way forward is always through action. Now is the time to keep going, to keep growing, and to keep embracing the opportunities that come with movement. Why waiting any longer will cost you. Every moment you spend hesitating comes with price, and that price is often higher than we realize. Time doesn't wait, and opportunities have a way of moving on when we don't take them. You might think, I'll just wait until I'm more prepared, or I'll take that leap when things settle down. But the truth is, waiting too long can mean losing the chance to create something extraordinary. Over time, hesitation can turn into regret. The excitement you once felt starts to wane, replaced by frustration and doubt. What was once a dream begins to feel like a burden. That's the real cost of waiting too long. The slow erosion of confidence and enthusiasm. And as the energy that once propelled you forward starts to fade, it becomes harder and harder to reignite the fire. The longer you put off taking that step, the more distant your goals feel. When you wait, you also risk missing the window of divine timing. Some opportunities come around again, but not all do. The Bible tells us about the Israelites who hesitated before entering the promised land. Their fear and doubt caused them to wander for 40 years, a journey that should have taken only weeks. They had the chance to step into something incredible, but their hesitation kept them stuck. Imagine how much time was lost, how many blessings were delayed. This story serves as a reminder that waiting too long can lead to missed chances and extended seasons of struggle. The longer you stay on the sidelines, the more difficult it becomes to step back onto the path. Waiting isn't just about time. It's about the missed growth, the connections you never made, and the momentum you let slip away. One of the greatest costs of waiting is what it does to your self-belief. When you delay action, you send a subtle message to yourself. I'm not ready. The more you tell yourself this, the more you start to believe it. Over time, that belief becomes a barrier. It becomes a reason to stay in your comfort zone, to settle for less, and to avoid taking risks. By waiting, you inadvertently strengthen your doubts. You start to feel like you're not capable of taking the leap. Even though you are, this cycle feeds on itself, making it harder and harder to break free. But when you stop waiting and take action, you reclaim your power. You remind yourself that you are capable, and you prove to yourself that you can move forward. It's not about being fearless. It's about having the courage to act despite the fear. Hesitation also comes with emotional costs. The longer you delay, the heavier the weight of what-if questions becomes. What if I had taken that opportunity? What if I had started that project sooner? These questions linger in the back of your mind, creating a sense of unease. Instead of looking ahead with excitement, you begin looking back with regret. That regret can grow over time, making it even more challenging to take action in the future. It's like standing at a fork in the road and continually choosing the path of least resistance, only to find that it loops back to where you started. Waiting too long can trap you in a cycle of longing and second-guessing, robbing you of the joy that comes from pursuing your purpose. The longer you wait, the more you risk losing not just opportunity, but the energy and inspiration that comes with it. Taking action doesn't just open doors. It revitalizes you. When you finally step forward, you feel a rush of excitement, a sense of momentum that carries you toward your goals. But when you put off that step, the opposite happens. You start to lose steam. The dream that once motivated you begins to feel like a distant memory. The passion that once fueled you starts to fade. And as that energy diminishes, so does the clarity that once made your path seem so obvious. Waiting drains the vitality out of your vision, leaving you feeling stagnant and uninspired. But by taking action now, you can reignite that spark and keep the fire burning. There's another cost of waiting that's often overlooked. The opportunities you'll never even know you missed. When you delay, you're not just postponing one step, you're postponing everything that would come after it. Every decision, every move forward creates a ripple effect. By waiting too long, you lose not just a chance in front of you, but all the doors that would have opened after that. You might never meet the people you were meant to connect with. You might never discover the paths that were waiting to unfold. Waiting creates a chain reaction of lost possibilities. But when you take action, you set off a different kind of ripple, one that leads to growth, progress, and transformation. Every step you take builds on the one before it, leading to opportunities you never could have planned for. At some point, you have to ask yourself, what am I really waiting for? Is it a perfect moment that may never come? Is it more clarity, more resources, or more time? The truth is, you'll never feel completely ready. There will always be reasons to wait, reasons that feel valid and rational. But those reasons are often just disguises for fear. By waiting, you allow that fear to grow stronger. But by acting, you start to dismantle it. You prove to yourself that you don't need everything to be perfect. You prove that you can handle uncertainty. And as you move forward, you'll find that the path becomes clearer. What felt impossible before starts to feel manageable. What seemed out of reach becomes attainable. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about creating the moment by taking the first step. If you're ready to stop waiting and take that step today, comment now below. By doing so, you're making a declaration that you're ready to move forward, no matter what. Remember, the longer you wait, the greater the cost. The time to act is now. Step into your power and start creating the future you've been dreaming of. How to step into your power right now. The first step to stepping into your power is to recognize that you've had it all along. Your fears, doubts, and excuses might seem overwhelming, but they're only as strong as you allow them to be. What's inside you, your purpose, your calling, is greater. You don't have to wait for a perfect moment or for everything in your life to fall into place. In fact, those perfect conditions often never come. What you do have is the ability to start right now with what you have and where you are. When Moses was called to lead his people, he didn't feel prepared. He didn't have all the answers or the resources, but he stepped forward anyway. And as he moved, his inner strength, his faith, and his purpose became more evident. In the same way, your power doesn't fully reveal itself until you begin to act. By taking even a small step, you unlock something inside you that has been waiting to emerge. Too often, we tell ourselves that we need to be fully ready before we move. We think we need more time, more knowledge, or more resources. But the truth is, you are ready enough right now. That doesn't mean you have all the answers, and it doesn't mean the path ahead will be easy. But it does mean you have everything you need to take the first step. Waiting for the perfect moment only delays the process. When you step into your power, you discover that you don't need perfection. You need progress. Each step forward builds momentum, and each action helps you learn and grow. It's in the doing, in the moving, that you find clarity and direction. The moment you start, fear begins to lose its grip. You start to see that the excuses you once leaned on are no match for the purpose that drives you. When you begin to take action, you'll notice that your confidence grows. This doesn't happen all at once, but step by step. Each small success, each little milestone, reinforces a belief that you can do more. Think about how a flame grows stronger when it's fed. That's what happens to your confidence when you keep going. Every time you face a challenge and overcome it, your inner voice grows louder, saying, "Yes, you can." It's not about having no fear. It's about acting in spite of fear. By taking that first step, you prove to yourself that you're capable. And once you see what you're capable of, you'll want to keep going. That confidence doesn't just change how you see yourself. It changes how you interact with the world. People notice when someone is walking in their power, and that energy becomes magnetic. Stepping into your power also changes the way you see challenges. Instead of viewing them as roadblocks, you begin to see them as opportunities for growth. Challenges become stepping stones rather than barriers. The obstacles that once seemed impossible start to look manageable. When you take action, you show yourself that you can handle difficulties. You become more adaptable, more resilient, and more resourceful. Every challenge you overcome strengthens your belief in your ability to move forward. And with each step, the path becomes clearer. You start to see new possibilities and directions that you couldn't see before. This shift in perspective is part of what it means to step into your power. You stop feeling like life is happening to you and start feeling like you're actively shaping your life. One of the most powerful changes that happens when you step into your power is that you align with your purpose. When you take action, you're no longer just thinking about what you want to do. You're doing it. You're moving in the direction of your calling. And that alignment creates a sense of fulfillment and meaning. You begin to see that every step you take brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. And as you align with your purpose, you'll notice that opportunities come more naturally. People and resources seem to appear at just the right time. This isn't coincidence. It's the result of stepping into your power and moving in harmony with your higher calling. When you act, you connect with the flow of life, and that connection opens doors you didn't even know existed. As you move forward, you'll realize that stepping into your power doesn't mean having it all figured out. It means trusting yourself enough to start, even when you feel unsure. It's about being willing to learn and grow along the way. Each step you take helps you uncover more of your strength and more of your purpose. And as you continue to take action, your path becomes more defined. The doubts that once held you back start to fade. You stop looking for permission or waiting for the perfect conditions, because you know that the power is already within you. It's a journey of discovery, and every action you take reveals a little more of who you are and what you're capable of. If you're ready to step into your power, let today be the day you start. Don't wait for tomorrow or for everything to be perfect. Start now. Take that first step, no matter how small. Remember, the time to act is always now. When you step into your power, you change the course of your life. Comment "I am chosen" below to declare that you're ready. Like the video, share with someone who needs to hear this. and subscribe so you can continue on this journey.